Welcome to the Homeworld training mission. Here we will teach you all the basic controls needed to play Homeworld. Let's begin. Left-click on the Next button to proceed. Lesson 1. Using the camera. Click the Next button to begin. To rotate the camera, hold the right mouse button and drag the mouse. Click Next to continue. To advance to the next lesson, rotate the camera 180 degrees around your mothership. Next, rotate the camera upward to view the mothership from above. Now view the mothership from below. Great! Move the camera back to the horizontal. Then I'll show you how to zoom in. To zoom in or out, hold both mouse buttons and drag the mouse up or down. If your mouse has a wheel, you can use the wheel to zoom as well. Click Next to continue. Zoom the camera out as far as you can. From this position, we get a good overview of the action. Now zoom the camera in as far as you can. Excellent. From this position, we get a good close-up view of the action. Practice rotating and zooming the camera. When you're ready to move on, click the Next button. Lesson 2. Building ships. Click Next to begin. Most of Homeworld's user controls are accessible from a pop-up taskbar. Move your cursor to the bottom of the screen to see the tab. There it is. Normally, the taskbar would disappear when you move your cursor away from it, but let's keep it up to take a closer look. Click Next to continue. This button brings up the Build Manager. Left-click on the Build button now. Welcome to the Build Manager. Here you can build new ships for the fleet. Click Next to continue. This is your RU count. It displays the amount of resource units available for building. Click Next to continue. This is the ship list. It displays the ships available for building, their cost, and the number of ships in each build queue. Click Next to continue. Let's build some ships. Left-click on the resource collector to select it. Left-click again on the resource collector to add one to the build queue. Left-click on the Build button to begin construction. Notice the progress bar. This indicates how much of the ship has been built. Click Next to continue. Now add a research ship to the build queue. Left-click twice on the research ship. Then left-click on the Build button. Now add 10 scouts to the build queue. Good. Now left-click on the Build. Take a close look at the progress bar. The darker top bar shows the progress of the ship currently being built. Click Next to continue. And the lighter bottom bar shows the progress of the entire batch. Click Next to continue. To exit the Build Manager, left-click on the Close button or press Escape. Construction will... Lesson 3. Selecting and Focusing. Click Next to begin. Select the mothership by left-clicking on it. Resource collector complete. Research ship complete. Resource stocks empty. Scout complete. Mother. Deselected by left-clicking on any empty space. Hold down the left mouse button and drag a selection box around the mothership. Mother. At the top right of the screen is the info overlay. It displays all the selected ships. To proceed, zoom the camera all the way out. Now drag a single selection box around as many ships as you can. Mother. Notice how the info overlay lists all the selected ships. Click on the resource collector in the list to select it. Now the resource collector is selected. Click Next to continue. Homeworld's camera always rotates around a ship or group of ships. This is called the camera's focus. To focus the camera on the resource collector, click your middle mouse button or press the F key. Good. Rotate the camera. Zoom it in and out. Notice the camera is centered around the resource collector. Click Next to continue. Click the middle mouse button again, or press the F key again to zoom in as close as possible. Zoom the camera out again to continue. You have a line of scouts in front of the mothership. Hold down the left mouse button and drag a selection box around all of them. Click the middle mouse button or press the F key. Now the camera is focused on all your scouts. Click the middle mouse button or press the F key again. Now we're zoomed in on the scouts. Move the camera around to take a look at them. Click the Next button to continue. Take some time to practice selecting and focusing. When the action heats up, it's important to be comfortable with these controls. Select the resource collector, focus on it, and zoom in until you're reasonably close. This is the ship's health bar. It indicates the ship is selected. If the ship gets damaged, the green bar will shrink and change color. Click Next to continue. When selected, a ship's functions are accessible through its right-click menu. Right-click on the resource collector to bring up this menu. Begin harvesting by left-clicking on Harvest in the menu. The resource collector will now find the nearest resources to harvest. Note that you can still rotate and zoom the camera while it moves. Click Next to continue. To move on to the next lesson, select and focus on the research ship. To help you find it, I have drawn a pointer to it. Lesson 4, Researching Technology. Click Next to begin. This is a research ship. The more you have of these, the faster you can research. To access the Research Manager, bring up the taskbar by moving your cursor to the bottom of the screen. This button brings up the Research